Stop dancing. You want to know why? Because the New York Mets are undefeated. They may never lose a game again. All jokes aside, what a first game of the season for the team in Queens. Mets win tonight 5-1 after an hour-long rain delay. That didn't stop the Mets from having some timely hitting. And boy, oh boy, am I excited to get into this post-game coverage. So if you're watching this live, shout out everybody in the live stream. Thank you all so much for being here. Make sure to smash that like and subscribe button if you enjoy consistent content here on the channel. All things Mets, along with people watching on replay as well. If you're watching on replay, I probably cut this down to 20 minutes to a half an hour, but we'll be going for upwards of an hour so I can answer all you guys in the live stream your questions after a magnificent win for the Mets. There was some drama involved that we'll be getting into regarding, I don't know, a couple hit by pitches. Didn't appreciate that. Neither did Pete Alonso. But what I did appreciate and what the entire Mets club appreciated tonight was, in fact, a W in the books for them in game 1 out of 162. Again, they may never lose a game again. Who knows? But before I get to anything, I want to give a shout out to everyone here in the live stream, all my members, all my people on replay right now, people in the live stream overall. Thank you so much. LSD with the $5 donation. Appreciate that. Always. Braves about to go 0-50, then up 95-67. We do this all the time. I hate opening day. Braves have been proven to be a second half team. That is certain, and we saw that last season for sure. LSD, thank you so much for the donation. I appreciate that. Guys, we got a lot of breakdown in this game. We already got the highlights up here in case you did miss the game and you're watching on replay right now. So I hope you enjoyed the highlights. Again, you can expect post-game coverage like this all throughout the season here on WardyNYM. And Jose, thank you so much for the $10 donation as well. Let's see, big drip. Yes, looking drippy and getting the win. That's an understatement. We got a lot to talk about and a lot of positives regarding, yes, Tyler McGill. What a show-out performance from the young right-hander who went from looking like he wasn't even going to start the season in the Mets rotation to now finding himself pitching opening day and breaking records in doing so. And I'm not exaggerating there. I'm really not. But again, thank you so much for that donation. I appreciate that, Jose. Hype in the chat, everybody. I'll be answering all your questions after I run down what transpired in this game. Because, guys, this was the Tyler McGill, Big Drip McGill, as people love to call him. This was the show for the right-hander. My goodness gracious, what McGill did tonight to step up in the absence of Jacob deGrom now as the opening day starter. What did he do? Through 5 innings of shutty. Easy. 3 hits, 0 earned runs, 0 walks, 6 strikeouts, not even 70 pitches. He easily could have won another inning, and maybe that would have prevented Juan Soto from hitting that absolute tank off of Trevor May, which, again, May just was like, oh, F out of here when that happened. Nothing you can do about best hitter in baseball. Not going to complain. He'll be a New York Met eventually anyways, but what a performance by Tyler McGill tonight. I'm going to be breaking down his pitch arsenal and what was working so well from him very shortly, but in a nutshell, man, this guy was literally doing stuff that we saw from Jacob deGrom. And when Jacob deGrom started to hit that next level in his game, especially with the velo, McGill, a guy that averages 95 on the heater, was averaging quite literally 97 and was touching 99 on numerous occasions tonight. Changeup, averaged around 85 last year. He was hitting 91 on the gun with the changeup tonight. Absolute absurd velo. Wasn't expecting that at all from McGill. Maybe that's shame on me for not expecting that, when in reality, he's a guy that has a really nasty arsenal and, again, is doing great things in a very short period of time for the Mets. Just unbelievable performance from him tonight. And man, oh man, if this continues, I said my hot take heading into this season, I said on Twitter recently, was that I think McGill is going to start for the Mets in this game, and he's never going to be out of the rotation for the entirety of the season. As long as he continues to pitch similar to this, give you 5+ quality innings, how can he not be in your starting 5? Right now, on paper, you can make the argument he's the Mets' number 3 pitcher outside of Bassett and Scherzer. I mean, that was just a phenomenal performance tonight. And if we look at offensively what the Mets managed to do, what did the Mets do tonight? They did exactly what they didn't do for the large portion of all of last season, and that was to get timely hitting, opposite field hitting. We're talking about getting clutch RBIs. Well, I don't know, 2 outs. That is what the Mets managed to do tonight. They didn't take nearly as much of an advantage on Patrick Corbin earlier in the game as what I liked them to. The Mets only had 1 hit through 3 innings. But then when they got out to the 4th, that's where things really started to change. Again, 5th, pardon me, when it came to 2-out timely hitting, Mets, they didn't get a home run tonight, but you got some gappers. You got some clutch singles. Again, looking at Wardy's top 5 here, in case you're wondering what that is, that's basically my pick, because I'm Wardy. My name's Tyler, but you guys know me as WardyNYM. That's my top 5. You could have made a very good exception for other guys too, but I'm going to be going through the lineup here in a second. LSD with another donation donation. Thank you so much for that, my friend. I appreciate that. Guys, help us get to 300 likes by the end of the show. Would really be appreciated. So continue smashing those buttons and help us get a 15K subs too. If you guys are excited with this massive opening day victory for the Mets over the Nationals, and I'll be in attendance for tomorrow's game. So I got a very short period of sleep tonight. Got to run, hit the road tomorrow. Very excited. And there may still be a post game tomorrow too, along with a vlog to come out sometime on Saturday after Scherzer's debut. Very excited. Imagine Braves with Soto Acuna. It's actually a possibility, by highly doubt. Not happening, LSD. There's no chance that they're going to pony up $500 million of Soto once he hits the free agent market. Only one team here between the two of us discussing actually has an owner that's willing to spend like that, and the Braves don't. They do spend money, but not nearly to the extent that would warrant getting Juan Soto. No chance. But to get back into talking about things that are happening, and again, I still appreciate the donation, no less, my friend. What a game. Miguel's start stood out so much to me. So you know what? Before we even break down all the offensive numbers and how the Mets bullpen looked tonight, I got to go through Miguel's numbers here for you guys. Because again, what he did with the velo was like jaw-dropping. How do you expect him to touch 99 tonight, let alone pump it consistently for the first couple innings? Then he died off a little bit as he got into the fourth and then the fifth. But still, Miguel, if you look at his pitch arsenal tonight, boy, was it effective. 57% of his pitches were the four-seam fastball tonight. He topped out 91.1 miles per hour. The minimum was 93.3, so he averaged actually 96 miles per hour. But again, it's still almost 2 ticks higher than his season average all of last season. Then 21% of his arsenal night was utilized with the changeup. He found himself at 92 miles per hour topping out. Minimum was 88.5, a little less than that, and really sat at 90 miles per hour there with the changeup. He was sitting at 85 miles per hour with the changeup last season, a 5 mile per hour difference with that. That's literally a Jacob deGrom type changeup is how deadly that is. Just disgusting. Then the slider as well had plenty of movement, 21% of his arsenal, 88.6, so really 89 miles per hour where he topped out. 85 miles per hour is where he sat at the minimum. And in the middle between the two was sitting right around 87 miles per hour. And that is, again, 2 notches higher on the velo than what we're accustomed to with him with his slider from last season. And he threw 1 curveball, and that was at 80 miles per hour. So, again, not complaining at all. Miguel, what did we notice with the spin rate tonight, folks? Boy, oh boy, was that spin up. Not a crazy amount. Nothing early in the game, it was absurd, but he was 68 points up on the four-seam fastball with his spin rate tonight. He was 32 points up on the changeup. The slider is what stuck out. He was 161 points up on his spin rate on his slider, averaging 2,287 RPMs, when in last season, he was averaging 2,126. So good amount of buildup on that spin rate for the slider, but overall, nothing too drastic. Just, again, the higher velo than expected tonight, which was definitely fantastic to see, and was also at, 45 points, I should say, up there on the curveball with his 1 pitch. So you can't really weigh it too much. But all right, we talked about the pitching when it came to Tyler McGill. Now let's talk about this offensive production. Let's go through the lineup real quick, and then I'll break down the bullpen and really what it stood out to me offensively. Again, timely hitting from the Mets today. But through the order, we saw Starling Marte 1 for 5 tonight to get himself his first RBI, the Mets' first RBI of the season. The new guys on the block came to play, and they produced exactly what us Mets fans were hoping that we would see and will continue to see throughout the season. And that is not necessarily just home runs, but we're talking about guys that just know actually how to hit the ball with guys in scoring position. Who would have thought? 2-out hitting, God, I would pray for things like this if it was last season. But now we got it on opening day. I mean, I feel like I'm on cloud 9 right now. I can't take myself down from here. I really can't. But Starling Marte, again, 1 for 5 with an RBI. Looked very good at the plate, even though he only had 1 hit. Was strong with the base running. Got drilled out. Would have been a stolen bag right in the first, because Keibert Ruiz, the young rookie stud of a catcher that they acquired in the Scherzer and Trey Turner trade back at the trade deadline last year, looking like a study at 2 hits today and drilled out Marte, who got caught only 5 times, literally only 5 times out of stealing 47 bags last season. So Marte, don't expect him to get caught much. It was just a beautiful throw. I mean, it couldn't have been timed better. Same thing with Alonso, rounding third, stumbled a little bit, went to home. They called him out there because it was a great relay throw there by Alcides Escobar, because of course, but no less, if you looked at the review, you really could make the argument that Alonso was safe. I thought he was, but no less. Again, some tricky things happened in the infield with the Mets today, both base running and defensively, but they got through it without a problem. JD Davis, who came in as a Patrick Corbin killer, literally has an 862 slugging in his career against Corbin, was not able to get much off of him because Corbin walked him the first at-bat, then the second at-bat. I'm trying to remember what exactly transpired there, but JD was 1 for 3 today with a run scored and a double, and that was after Corbin was taken out of the game and a walk. Francisco Lindor, first day officially under that new $341 million contract. No problem. Has himself a 1 for 4 today. A couple strikeouts, but did get himself that clutch RBI, Oppo RBI, to increase the lead for the Mets. At that point, it made it 5-1, I believe. Pete Alonso, 2 for 4 today. Run score definitely could have been in my top 5. I just didn't have him because he didn't get an RBI. That's really the only reason. But Pete got some nice oppo hanging today, especially on his second hit. And as you guys seen the highlights, did get drilled right in the face. Very Kevin Pillar-esque. The PTSD kicked in right away. Thankfully, it looks like Alonso's okay, but Marte was having choice words out of the dugout for the Nationals because the Mets got hit 3 times today. James McCann got the run scored by actually getting a hit off his foot. That looked like he kind of placed it on purpose, if I'm being honest, from the previous pitch, because Corbin wasn't able to land his off-speed pitches, especially that slider. Hits him in the foot. That brought in a run for Corbin to end his day, Corbin, when bases were loaded. But that wasn't the only time a guy got hit. McCann got hit again in his next at-bat, right high up in the shoulder/back area. And then Alonso drilled in the face, but thankfully it did hit his face guard, part of his helmet that's screwed in there that's meant to block a pitch. So he had a little bit of a ice pack on him in the dugout after that, but it looks like he's okay, thankfully. I'll check after the game. I'll listen to Buck in his presser because he's doing his presser right now as we speak. Many of you guys are probably listening to it too to make sure that he's fine. But Pete thinks I think he's going to be okay. But for a guy that was in a near fatal car accident not even a month ago, I don't appreciate him being headhunted by the pitcher, regardless on if it was intentional or not. I know it wasn't. It's just frustrating. Not what you want to see happen to your Mets to start the season. But again, thankfully, it looks like he'll be okay, God willing. Eduardo Escobar, 1 for 4 tonight, had himself a double. Strong day at the plate still, too. Escobar got himself a nice extra base hit. And then Robinson Cano, probably one of, if not the biggest surprise today, right, guys? And again, shout out all my members and subscribers in the chat, guy. Continue smashing that like and subscribe. As always, if you guys are enjoying this post-game coverage as the Mets won, yes, 5-1 opening day against the Nationals. Robbie Cano hit for opposite field twice tonight. First time he did it was a bunt. Yes, a 39-year-old Robbie Cano playing second base tonight who looked smooth with the glove. Had one play where he could have made a play, but messed up a little bit there. Wasn't an error, though. Infield hit there for Josh Bell. Outside of that, though, I mean, base hitting. I can't speak right now. Actually hitting the ball. His at-bats. Got himself a bunt single, beat the ship. Then also got himself another oppo single down the third baseline. Then he was pulled for a pinch runner. That would end his day. But Cano, 2 for 3, 2 runs scored, walk. I love with what I saw from Cano from the plate. The bat speed is clearly still there, and just doing situational hitting, being aware of the shit that you have. Man, oh man. I mean, sign me up, Cano. Look, you're on this team. As long as you're on this team, I'm rooting for you no matter what. And I was very satisfied with what I saw from Robbie Cano today. And it's hard to argue that otherwise. I mean, hey, 2 for 3 and both your hits were opposite field. Sign me up. My goodness gracious. And then you had Mark Hanna, a very strong day at the plate. His best day as a Met. He didn't even perform this well in spring. He had a 1 homer in spring. Today, though, 2 for 3 with a run scored and a clutch RBI, a 2-out RBI that increased the Mets' lead at insult to injury in this one. These are the type of clutch, timely hitting that we need from a guy like Mark Hanna, a high on-base guy, not known for the average, but again, knows how to actually score some runs with guys on second and third. I know it's a crazy thought. We're not used to it as Mets fans, but still, love what I saw from Hanna. 2 for 3 today. Just beautiful hitting from what we saw from him. Jeff McNeil, talk about beautiful hitting. He had himself an RBI. 2 for 4. Pulled an RBI single down the first baseline. McNeil looks back. That plate approach is there. He's short in his swing. He's not looking nearly as much of a golfer, even though I know he loves golf so much. What a big day for McNeil. And James McCann over 2, but really, I mean, look, he had a hit basically because he scored the Mets' first run of the season, I should say, by getting hit by the pitch. And then Tyler McGill, we talked about him. Trevor May gave up a piss missile of a home run. Second deck Juan Soto. But again, Soto will be a Met in a couple of years anyways. Who cares if he hits a home run? Won't be the last time he does against the Mets this year. Other than that, though, May settled down okay. Got himself was able to get out of the inning, only giving up that run. Adam Ottavino came in and just pitched beautifully. Had himself 2 strikeouts. Beautiful break on that disgusting slider, making those Nationals hitters look stupid. And then we had Seth Lugo in the 8th. He pitched 0.2 innings, had 1 strikeout. And then Edwin Diaz. Diaz closed it out in the 9th. And a non-save situation, I should say, given the amount of runs that the Mets had lead-wise. But still, Diaz looked good. And Lugo pitched an entire inning, not just 0.2. So I apologize for saying that. Lugo had a strikeout and 1 inning pitched and gave up a walk. And same thing with Edwin, had a strikeout, had a walk. And that closed things out for the Mets in what was a massive 5-1 victory. So Mets fans, I want to know your thoughts on this game. How do you feel? And before I cut it off for people on replay fairly soon, I just got to continue to share my raw emotion. This was a game where the Mets were effective with runners in scoring position. We're talking about a club that basically hit right around 500, if not better, with guys in scoring position. How many times last season did they do that? I know it's opening day. I know it's against the Nationals. I'm fully aware of the context, but it does not change the fact that this is a great way to start your season if you are, in fact, the New York Mets. This is a team that couldn't hit a lick all season last year. And when they did hit a lick, more often than not, they didn't know how to hit it once a guy was on second base. Mets were not just able to hit with guys in second base, but also with 2 outs. Multiple RBIs tonight. 2 out, timely clutch hitting. This is a type of small balls, type of Mets baseball that will actually get them anywhere this year. They're not going anywhere if they don't actually clutch up and hit like a normal contending team will hit. They did that tonight. It won't be the last time they do it. Hopefully they do it tomorrow and throughout this entire series in DC. And yeah, just a fantastic performance by the Mets, who start off slow with the bats tonight. We're able to get things balanced. Again, I just can't get over the opposite field RBIs, especially. I mean, I'm sorry. I am an absolute slut for opposite field RBIs. Call me as it is. Yeah, you got me. That's literally me. If you're hitting Oppo, especially for a run that's going to be batted in, boy, oh boy, does that make my day. I take that over solo home runs like any day of the week. You want to know why? The Mets have been such a home run or bust club for multiple years that it feels damn good, damn refreshing to have a team that through the first game of the season did not hit a home run, but they still managed to score 5 runs. I will take that. Sign me up. Again, the amount of guys that hit for the Mets tonight, everyone in this lineup hit tonight outside of Dom Smith, who did not get an at-bat, outside of Travis Jankowski, who had 1 at-bat, and McCann, who got hit by pitch twice. So, my goodness, what a start. What a start. Wardy down bad. Quite the opposite, Liam. I'm all the way up. I can only go down from here, to be quite honest with you, because I'm such on a high after 1 game out of 162 that may very well have little to no meaning. But this feels good as a Mets fan. This is exactly what I was hoping to see. And the production, not just from Tyler McGill, who looks like an absolute stud early on in this Mets rotation, beyond what I think anyone would have expected in his opening day start here tonight. And now the Mets have Max Scherzer on the bump tomorrow. I'll be at that game. Then they have Chris Bassett the following game, and around out the series, Cookie Carrasco. So I'm very happy. And everybody on replay, thank you guys so much for watching. This is where we're going to cut things off, so that way you're up to date on everything that transpired in this one. And if you enjoyed this coverage, make sure to smash that like and subscribe button. As always, and stay tuned. Keep those notifications on for more great coverage all throughout the season here on WardyNYM.